Coming up next on Virginia Currents.
I remember the first time I saw Battersea, and it was just kind of this ethereal building off at the end of a long field that just had this kind of unchanged in time aura about it.
Petersburg's hidden jewel. Tucked away on the city's west side, Battersea Mansion was the creation of Petersburg's first mayor, John Bannister. A prominent figure in colonial Virginia, he was a patriot and a Revolutionary War leader. And he wanted a home that reflected his prominence. So he built it. Occupied by both the British and the Americans during the Revolutionary War, the Battersea grounds contain a treasure trove of archaeological artifacts.
When Battersea was begun in 1768, Thomas Jefferson was just leveling off the top of the mountain to build his first Monticello.
Bannister was really on the cutting edge of the development of society and the notions of liberty here in Virginia. He wanted a nice little show place where he had peace and quiet and control over his surroundings.
Today we're out here doing a Phase 1 archaeological survey. Every 50 feet we're digging a hole, screening the soils and recovering artifacts.
That's brick.
So that we can identify where different activities occurred on the property.
All the soil has to be put through here and you have to make sure you don't miss anything.
Just looking for stuff that kind of pops out in the screen at you. Pieces of brick, pieces of ceramic, nails. It's very slow going. This side, there's these lines, kind of ridges, and that's how we know that someone was using a potter's wheel. And it has kind of, looks like salt place on this side. Hello. What are you?
Did you find something?
I don't know if it's a bone or a ceramic or what. It's in the wall here. Part of it is sticking out of the wall, but I don't know how big is not sticking out of the wall. It's ceramic. It doesn't have any decoration. It's just a white glaze on it. There's a couple more pieces in the wall I'm kind of afraid to pull out. So for right now, I'm going to leave it.
Well, this is a shovel test pit to try to locate any artifacts that may be in here. And then if they continue on with the dig, they'll know where to concentrate their efforts depending on the highest concentration of artifacts. Here's a piece of hand-blown glass. You can tell by the bubble. So it may have been a goblet. Could have been most any size vessel. Well, I'm looking for my different levels, and I've got 2 different levels now, and I'm coming down on the 3rd one. That's going to tell me where my artifacts are going to start to end. When you get down to that subsoil, that orange soil, that's the level that people lived on 200, 300, 400 years ago. That's where you usually find your best artifacts. However, in a field, they may not be in the original place they were, because a plow can move artifacts 8 feet either way every time they plow a field. So if you find something on the surface or in the plow zone, it more than likely has been disturbed. You need to get down to that level that they lived on in order to find the artifacts in the proper place. And that's usually 10 to 12 inches down. History. You pick up a piece of ceramic plate and you'll sit and you'll wonder, when was it used, what was it used for, who used it. You know, you try to put all that, try to figure all that out. And of course you can't do that, but it's just interesting to know that that piece of ceramic had laid in the ground for 200 years and you're the first person to touch it. That's the reason I like doing it. You know, get out and get to be a kid again playing in the dirt.
Battersea is 37.5 acres in the middle of downtown Petersburg. So the fact that it's still here and hasn't been developed is something that is really unique in an urban environment. But the Battersea plantation itself, it's evidence, it's a chance to look at a plantation that was constructed in 1770 and occupied until 1980. We're finding things like, we've got an 1806 Liberty Head penny, the size of our modern day quarters. We've got a shoe buckle that appears to be early, sterling silver, and is in very nice condition. Just came out of the ground 2 days ago. this piece of German stoneware from the 18th century called Westerwald, typically used for things like crocks, pots, and chamber pots, pretty utilitarian function. And so we've got a whole range of different types of archaeological sites, as well as ranges of different types of people that have lived here. We've got the Bannisters who built the house, the people who worked for the Bannisters, the enslaved people that worked for the Bannisters, basically the rest of the people who have lived here throughout the 19th century and 20th century.
This one is 2 feet 3 inches. My first stride is about 0.5. I love history. Yeah, it's 0.5. I have 2 small children, and I want them to know where they come from. This was a place that slavery did occur. John Bannister was a slave trader. So it's like, wow, you know, it's like you don't believe something until it's like really put into your face.
And good afternoon, everyone. And believe me, in the days and years and months ahead, great things are going to happen right here at Battersea. I never thought that I would be standing here on the porch of the first mayor of Petersburg. And I feel very good today to say I stood here at the home that John Bannister built. And thank you all for coming today, and enjoy yourself. Have a fun day.
Put it up there. Good boy.
Wow. You strong. You're doing it better than me. Piece of glass.
Have you ever found any coins over here?
Yeah, they found 2 coins. One was from 1806 and the other one was from 1899.
Right now we're working back down in the woods in the terrace, and we're seeing, and what we think we're seeing is I think
you see a lot more there.
Yeah, we are. And what we think we're seeing is a large, view to the river in the 18th century. Probably went all the way down. Probably some modifications of the soils, trash bins, good stuff.
Because I was just going to say, because people discard things
right.
a whole lot more in the back,
right?
Not here.
It's bait, a worm.
Yeah, we find a lot of those.
We're in his domain.
This is how the front of the house would have looked originally, with these rectangular window openings as we see them. This is believed to have been reconstructed from one of the original porches or porticos. So the porch on the front probably looked very similar to this as well, much smaller. In Palladio's villas, there is a type of large room right in the middle of the house called a salone. This was adopted by the French, which called it a salon, and then the English called it either a salon or a saloon. As we go through this door, and we're going to go past the staircase, and this is one of the greatest examples of a Chinese lattice staircase in the country.
It's just languished here, the building itself, but luckily she's kept herself up. And as I said, it can be we anticipate a wonderful cultural venues out here, educational. It'll really bring up the west end of the city.
We want Battersea to play a vital role for revitalizing the communities, revitalizing the neighborhood, because Petersburg's, it's just endowed with so many riches. We just need people to come back and rediscover it and make a commitment to live here.
Battersea is a Virginia landmark and is designated as nationally significant by the National Park Service. If you'd like more information, you can visit their website, batterseainc.com.
There's an old Roman saying that some men are born great, some achieve greatness, and some have greatness thrust upon them. Well, this is a house which, there's another saying, some houses are born Palladian, some houses achieve Palladianism, some have even more Palladianism thrust upon them.